So for those of you who don't know, and you probably wouldn't know because I haven't really mentioned anything about it yet, so probably most of you don't know, I started school recently, about the last Tuesday. I started school, I'm back, my summer break is over. Man, I wish I had done more this summer, I'm not gonna lie, but that is on YouTube, but and other things in general, but I did have a pretty good summer, so I really shouldn't complain. I met a lot of new people, did a lot of new cool things, got to take a couple of trips, but I don't know, I just wish I had done more in some ways during the summer, but you know, it is what it is. You can't really roll back time. Maybe we could pump this up to 88 miles per hour if we were at like a DeLorean or something, we could go back in time, but I'm not the owner of a DeLorean, those are pretty rare and expensive, so not going back in time today. So, if y'all haven't heard about it, there was a news story I saw online recently that sort of interested me about one of the more popular YouTubers, Pewdiepie. I've watched a few of his things before, I'm not going to lie, I don't really watch him that much. I don't hate him, he seems like a cool guy. But I found this sort of interesting. He was talking about how he disabled comments because of all the trolling and whatnot on YouTube. And, you know, I respect that. I sort of understand where he's coming from. But, on the other hand, I'm sorry, if you're a YouTuber, and he probably does have thick skin, but you really do have to have, I'm just saying, thick skin. Like, you can't let him get to you because there's going to be trolls out there. The thing to remember about trolls, and I think this is a thing that I always remember, is that obviously they have something else going on in their life, and that's why they're doing it. It's not just like, it's probably not personally aimed at you, it's probably just because they have something they're struggling with that makes them angry or something, they want to take their anger or whatever out on something. It doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it justifies it, but if you think about it like that, it's really a much more calming effect because you realize it's not really aimed at you. Most of this hate is not really aimed at you in particular. It just happens they saw your video online and they happen to have all this anger at something and they're firing it out. I guess that's the way I think of it. And it doesn't really bother me. I don't know. Like, it used to bother me some, I'm not gonna lie, but I just sort of like, it sort of came as a realization to me. Like, they're probably not personally attacking you, and even if they are, who cares? You know, you can't satisfy everyone. If they're gonna hate, let them hate. For probably every hater, there's probably about 10 or 20 people out there who, like, genuinely like what you're making. You can't satisfy everyone, but you can try to satisfy most people, but you can't satisfy all. You know, but I respect him for disabling the comments. But truthfully, I do think YouTube has come a long ways with the comments, which seems sort of weird. I understand maybe a few years back disabling them, because honestly, it wasn't a very sort of discussion, but ever since they started making changes to the comments, adding Google Plus integration, which I don't really agree with that, but that sort of laid the foundation for everything else that came, adding the rankings of comments, I love that feature. It sort of reminds me of Reddit, so good on that, YouTube. And letting people, and really filtering out certain things that seem like spam or whatever, which they're still improving. It's not a perfect system. I've seen things that have come in that aren't spam at all, and that does annoy me, I'm not gonna lie, but, you know, it takes time to make a good system. This just rolled out a year ago. It's, you know, it's a work in progress. But life is a work in progress. See, I go with the flow and let it happen. You can't satisfy everyone. Not everyone is going to say you're perfect. There will be some people out there just be like, yo, you suck. But you can't let them get to you because, you know, they're going to just do that whether you like it or not. They're really probably have some other reason for doing it. And even if they genuinely don't like you, just, I don't know what to say other than I just wouldn't let them get to you. They're just trolls. There's so many amazing people out there, and they're not bad people either. They're just have stuff going on, you know, just like everyone else. It doesn't make it right what they're doing, but maybe in due time they'll see the error in their ways, you know. It just is what it is. You can't really try. I wouldn't really try to control it, because if you disable your comments, they're just going to comment on someone else's video or other stuff, you know. It's not like you can get rid of it. You got to face the problem, I guess. So I respect Pewdiepie for doing that. I'm just saying myself, I'm not disabling my comments anytime soon, because I've seen a lot of meaningful discussion even amongst trolling in the comments, and so I feel like that meaningful discussion is enough. Even if there's like 10 troll comments and one meaningful discussion, I think the one meaningful discussion is worth it to keep the comments on, because why let the trolls ruin that? It's like, The worst thing I think you can do is give these trolls, spammers, and haters the light of day. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean they're bad people. I just mean if you shouldn't satisfy that, because then that just gives them more fuel to keep on trolling, and that's not good for you. That's not good for them. That's not good for the community. I don't really care about trolling, but I'm just saying, like, why even just ignore it? That's what I say. But yeah, this is sort of something that was in my mind. I found that sort of interesting. And yeah, guys, I've just been busy doing my thing, being back to school, as I said earlier in the video. I've been working on a lot of interesting content, but I've also been very busy doing various things. If you want to check out some of the stuff I've been doing online more recently, other than YouTube, you can check out my Flickr. I'll put a link to that in the description. DeviantArt, yes, I do have a DeviantArt, which I've forgotten to mention for so long, but I figured I may as well mention it. You can check that out into the description too. Whatever. Yeah, guys. Thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a good one. I hope I'll be putting more awesome stuff in y'all's faces in the very near future. And yeah. Peace out, guys.